Hi officers, how are we? Not too bad. Do you suspect me of committing a crime? Yeah, I'm entitled not to answer as well because I haven't committed a crime. I don't feel the need to answer that question because I haven't committed a crime. Do you suspect me of committing a crime, officer? Yeah, but I'm creating digital content, which is an essential service.
Pardon?
I'm creating digital content, which is an essential service. But am I legally obliged to do that?
Okay, if you want to have an interview,
I'm not interviewing you.
Contact the Gardai.
But you approached me.
Yeah, we did approach
Yeah.
you.
And could I get your number, please? C34. And what station? Yeah. And could I get your number?
Yeah, Charlie 180.
And the station?
Street, Gardai station.
Yeah, no problem.
So, do you have any identification on you under the COVID regulations?
But am I legally obliged?
Yeah, you are actually under the section 31.
But I'm providing an essential service.
Yes, but we need to make our relevant inquiries to ensure that that is the case.
But
So
are you
have
sure
any
that that's
identification on you?
I'm legally obliged to do it? Because I will give you my details under duress.
Under the COVID regulations, yes, sir.
Yeah, but I'm providing an essential service. I don't.
Okay, and that's fine, and we just take your details anyway. And
So,
see if
like,
we can
I
make
have to
confirmation of it.
I have to carry proof of ID and basically an identification card everywhere I go. Is it?
No, I'm just asking you for your identification now, sir. So would you mind providing it to me there, please?
I can do it, but if I'm legally obliged under duress of
What's in
being,
your pocket there, sir?
it's just a recording thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm creating digital content, which is an essential
Okay,
service.
you said that now. Have you any identification, please?
But am I legally obliged to do it? Because I will give it to you if I'm.
explained under the COVID regulations, we're requiring you to provide us with your name and address.
But I don't think it says that I have to provide my name and address anywhere in that legislation because I know it thoroughly.
Okay, will you tell me where?
Yeah, where does it say?
There is an obligation.
Yeah, where does it
Section
say?
31A.
Yeah, I read the whole section. It doesn't say anything about
we're
name and
trying
address.
to confirm that your journey is essential.
Yeah,
And
so
as
I'm
you're in a
creating
public
digital
place-
content, as you can
yes,
see.
but we don't know you from Adam. Anybody can have a phone out.
Yeah, but
So I'm trying to confirm your details.
But the
So
regulation
can you
says
provide me
if you're
with your
creating
details?
digital content, then you don't have to. It's an essential service.
Yes, but anybody can create digital content.
Yeah, and that's legal.
necessarily mean-
But that's legal.
Okay, so have you any identification on you, sir?
But if I'm legally obliged to do so,
Yeah,
I
we're
don't-
trying to
well,
confirm
can you
whether your
tell
journey
me?
is essential.
Can
I
you?
don't know whether your journey is essential.
Well, I'm creating
Part of
digital
that is
content.
trying to
You can see
confirm.
that I'm doing that.
So have you identification on you there, please, sir?
Could
You're
you?
saying you said a moment ago to me, sir,
Yeah, you know,
that you would provide it under duress. So
Yeah.
I'm asking you for your identification.
So I will provide it if you're going to arrest me otherwise. So you're going to arrest me
I didn't
otherwise.
say I'm going to arrest you otherwise.
Well,
I'm
then I
trying
wouldn't
to
do it.
confirm your details.
But then I wouldn't give my details
Well, I don't
because.
know whether you're breaching. I know you're saying that you're, but
But
I
look,
don't.
you can see me creating digital content right
I can
here.
see you with a camera in my face. That doesn't necessarily mean that
That I'm
that's
creating digital content?
It just means that you're recording.
Well, what is it so? If it's not digital content,
What's the digital content for?
it's for.
Correct. Have you any identification, please?
I do have identification, but
Would
could
you
you
please
could you
apply-
point me to the line in the legislation that you're talking about where it says I have to give you?
We just outlined what the requirements are.
But it doesn't say anywhere in that
We've
legislation
explained
that
it
I
in
have to give my name and address.
You don't have to go word and line in the legislation to explain to you.
But if the legislation doesn't say it, then it's not legislation.
What the meaning of the legislation is, and we've done that.
But it
Okay?
doesn't say anywhere. I know the
requires you-
legislation, lads. It doesn't say anywhere that you have to give my
requires
name
you
and
to
address.
For your movements as to what.
But if I'm
your
creating
re- your
digital
re-
content, I
your
can go anywhere.
reasons are. No, you can't.
Why? Because it's an essential service.
It's not an essential.
It is. It says it right there in the legislation that you just stated. It does. Digital content to be shown to the public or a portion of the public is an essential service. So I know the legislation doesn't say anything about name and address.
So what section of the relevant legislation? So
I think it's 9B. It's 31, and I think it's 9B is the point where you can create digital content
Right,
for
of-
the public or a portion of the public.
What legislation?
Health Act 1947, updated in 2020, 37A.
Sir, we believe that you may be breaching the COVID regulations in that you have travelled for an unnecessary journey. I don't know. I know that you're saying that you're.
Yeah, but if you don't know the legislation, how can you enforce it? Because it says creating digital content
Yes.
to be shown to the public or a portion of the public is an essential service. How can you enforce the legislation if you don't know it?
No. What I'm saying is I don't know what the purpose of the.
Well, it looks like you don't know.
that you're creating
But it
is.
doesn't matter.
Well, it
Why
does.
does it matter?
It
'Cause that's
does,
the law.
Because part of it makes it essential.
And
part
you're
of it
within the
doesn't.
2 meters, you're putting my health in danger as well.
I'm asking you for identification, sir.
But it doesn't say in the legislation that I have to give it.
It does if we believe that you're breaching. We can require your name and address.
But
If
how
we
would you
believe-
think that I'm breaching it when I'm creating content which is an essential
Because-
service?
I don't believe the content that you're creating currently is an essential service as outlined by the legislation. So
But
I'm asking
have you got the
for your
legislation
name and
with you?
address details.
Because
I
it
have some of
doesn't.
the legislation.
But it doesn't
Yes,
say
sir,
it
but I don't-
anywhere
I've
that
explained it in
you have
ordinary
to.
language, and I'm requiring your name and address. So I'm asking you to comply with my requirement.
You're demanding, and you're saying you're going to arrest me otherwise.
I haven't said I'm going to arrest you.
Okay, well, am I
At the
detained, so am I
moment-
free to go?
No, at the moment.
So I'm detained.
No. At the moment,
Why
what
am I
we're doing
not?
is
So
we're
I'm either
engaging in
detained or I'm free to go.
authorities, sir.
Which one is it?
I'm asking you for your name and address, sir. If you then refuse to provide your name and address, it becomes a different situation. So I'm asking you currently for your name and address.
But you don't know the legislation, officer.
Yes, I do.
It's creating digital content. It's not. Your content isn't good enough to be essential.
I'm saying I don't know the purpose of what you're recording there. You can say that it's for digital content, but I don't know that.
And you've detained me already because I'm trying to walk away, and you've detained me. You see?
We're trying to make the necessary.
So you've already detained me.
inquiries, Okay.
All right,
Trying
look.
to make the necessary inquiries.
You can
I'm
have.
asking for
You
your
can
name.
have. This is harassment, lads.
Okay, you can make that case.
It is harassment, yeah.
You can make that case in another forum if you wish.
Well, I wouldn't like to do that, you know.
Well, you're entitled to do that. Just one second. Just give my colleague one moment there to write it down.
Because you don't know the legislation. You're within 2 meters. You're putting my health at risk, and you don't know the legislation.
Okay, well that's a matter of opinion, sir.
It's not a matter of opinion. It's black and white. It's the law, lads.
So it's and you're saying that the purpose of your trip today is creating digital content.
Creating digital content, yes, an essential service. I don't know if you have a copy of the legislation with you.
Absolutely.
And you said my digital content isn't
So I
good
said
enough.
I don't know. We need to make inquiries
No,
as to
you've.
the purpose of your
Well, it's all on
digital
video,
content.
like.
By the way, we're not consenting to our images being disseminated on any forum.
What about the 2 meters? Do you not have to do that?
We're wearing face coverings at the moment, sir.
They don't work, though, do they?
And
That's
again,
a matter of opinion.
well,
That is a
say
matter
that
of
there are
opinion.
scientific-
That's one thing that's
I'd
actually
say
true,
that
yeah.
there's scientific examinations in relation to that. And the reason that I'm standing this close to my colleague is for his safety, because we don't know yet. We have to search.
Yeah,
yet, we don't
that's the
know
reason
what
I'm
you're wearing.
filming as well. So you've been very aggressive and everything.
We have not.
And you don't know the
There's been lots of
legislation.
things, but aggressive is not one of them. Now you can have your driver's
Yeah.
license back.
Thanks very much, guys.
You're cautioned to come back into compliance with the Health Act 1947 and the regulations.
But is this not an essential service?
That's a matter of opinion, okay?
It's
Maybe
not,
a
it's the
matter
law.
of opinion.
It's the law, lads.
We're directing that you return to compliance with the Act. Failing to return to compliance with the Act could result in you being prosecuted, firstly by way of a fixed charge notice, and laterally, if you choose not to pay the notice, you will be summoned to the district court. There's a possible fine of €2,500 at the discretion
Well, look,
of the judge.
we'll have to go to
Okay?
court because I don't think that's the legislation that you know it,
Well,
lads.
look, what you go if you want to go. If you want to
I'm actually
exercise-
sure because I was reading it all the last couple of days, you
If
know.
you want to exercise your right to go to that forum, that is perfectly within your rights to exercise your right to go before a judge,
Yeah.
rather than being administered a fine if you so wish.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you are risking being issued with an administrative fine under the regulations. All right.
Even though I'm providing an essential service.
Again, that is a matter of dispute at the moment.
It's black and
okay?
white, man. It's black and white in the law. It says it right there, digital content for the public or a portion of the public. I know the legislation.
Okay, but as we're saying, we haven't had any interaction with you before. We don't know the purpose for your recording, whether it is for public or for not. Well, it does. It
No,
is
it doesn't.
based on what you're saying there.
Is digital content, you're saying my digital content isn't good enough, is it?
No, I'm saying we don't know the purpose of the digital content.
No, it
as
doesn't
you've
matter.
outlined there.
Who are you providing the digital content
I just,
for?
just have a
Not
YouTube
say
channel.
Anything unless you wish to do so, anything you do say will be taken in writing by the court matters. What is the YouTube channel?
What?
What is the YouTube channel?
It's just for the public, just doing a Freedom Watch because we've
Okay,
been
so
locked
what's the
5
name of the
kilometres.
What's the name of the YouTube channel? please?
It's Freedom Watch.
Freedom Watch. Okay. And when do you propose to put this material on the channel?
Well, look, if you don't give me a fine, then I won't put it on the channel.
No, I'm just wondering.
Not,
We've already said we don't consent to being published on the channel.
All right, and under what legislation would I be required not to do that?
It's under civil law. I'm not giving my
I don't
consent
think
to
I don't
your
think a
use of
Garda
my
can be
image.
complainant in a civil case.
Can if you wish.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
If you wish, we might choose to test that proposition in court if you wish.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Yeah,
You could leave yourself civilly liable.
I could.
Good, yes.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
Thanks very much, guys.
okay. We're formally directing that you come back into compliance with the Health Act 1947 and the regulations made thereunder.
Mhm.
And if you do so,